A very good morning, class. Hope you're doing good and staying inside and keeping yourself safe. Moving on with the series of our lectures, today I'm going to give you a little brief on Ferdinand de Saussure. Saussure, as you have studied before, is a Swiss linguist and semiotician born in the year 1857. Now, the late 19th century was known for varied, significant studies in the world. Everybody was experimenting with everything, and each new decade was bringing one or other new theory for us to explore, invent, discover, and reveal new truths to the world. Not only new, but also exploring things that have been with us for a very long period of time but have been understood or have percolated down in a different way. Now, this particular century is known for kind of deciphering those truths and bringing out new methods of understanding life, its structures, and its symbols. Now, getting to structures and symbols, the best semiotician that we have is Saussure, Ferdinand de Saussure, right? A Swiss linguist and semiotician. For those who are new to this idea of structuralism, linguistics is the branch of science that studies with the dealings of language, the branch of science which deals with language, whereas semiology is the branch of science which deals with the study of signs and symbols. So Saussure was a Swiss linguist and a semiotician. He was both the studying agent of language and the kind of symbols and signs available in language for human being to understand, for human being to comprehend its methods. That is why probably he is called the founder of 20th century linguistic theory, or the father of structuralism. Now, he explained that the terms, whatever that we speak, get their meaning from the reciprocal determination with other terms and their usage in the language. For example, if we say the word day, it has a meaning because we understand it with night. If we say the word dark, we understand it because we compare it with the word light. Now, his theoretical reconstructions, majorly known to the world, are the theory of laryngeals. Laryngeals are sounds that you create from the larynx, especially in Indo-European languages. So the results formulated the central tenets of what you study today as structural linguistics, which is a branch of linguistics that deals with language as an interconnected, interrelated structure, in particularly the theories and methods that were later taken up by Leonard Bloomfield, the American structuralist. Now, the contribution that Saussure has given to the theory of structuralism or to the understanding of language can be understood in the bifurcation of langue and parole. Now, these are the words that you have heard over the period of time. You've understood them in varied ways. Now, let's understand them in one different method. Now, langue, as you have understood, is an abstract systematic roles, conventions of a signifying system. For example, every language has a certain structure of grammar, whether it's Hindi, whether it's English, French, Russian, German. Every language has a fixed structure called the grammar, which is abstract. Now, English has been a language for thousands of years. There has been something called English grammar and composition, which has been there for thousands of years. But these set of rules of understanding this language have never changed. The way the language is spoken changes, but the way the structure is set is never changed. For example, a verb will always be a verb. A noun will always be a noun. It may be used interchangeably, but their basic qualifications of classification will remain the same. That is what you understand with the word lang. And then you come to parole. Now, parole is actual speech, the way you and me, all of us will speak. People from France will speak English in a different way. People from Middle East, England will speak it in a different way. People from Russia will speak English in a different way. People from the Asian countries are going to speak English in a different way. But English remains the same, which means the lang remains the same, whereas the parole, the way it is spoken, varies, right? Even in countries that speak English per se, things have changed. The way they used to speak English in the 16th century, or the way they used to speak English in the 4th or the 5th century, the Norman way of speaking, then the Anglo-Saxon way of speaking, then coming to the Latin English way, and then Elizabethan English, the thou way of addressing people, that we do not do now. And over the period of time, the way we have started using the language in our modern day understanding has changed, which means lang is fixed. The structure is always fixed. But how you move about it is going to be different. If you could understand it in a game of chess, the rules are fixed. There is a way the king has to move, there is the way the pawns move, there's the way that the horse takes a certain direction. But each one plays the game differently. Now, lang is the rules of the chess, right? The rules of the language that remain stationary, that remain fixed. Whereas parole is the way you play the game, is the way you speak the language, and it keeps changing over the period of time. Now, this basic classification of understanding the structure of language was defined by Swiss linguist and semiotician Ferdinand de Saussure. Now, his framework was later on adopted by Claude Lévi-Strauss, Leonard Bloomfield, and Noam Chomsky. But understand that his most influential work, and remember this, is Course in General Linguistics, published posthumously. He died in 1913. So the work was posthumously published in 1916. And post the publication of his work, after his basic classification was introduced, Saussure rightly became the father of 20th century structuralism. Now, I hope the bifurcation has been understood by you well, and lang and parole would never be mixed up with each other now. Thank you.